candidate might be in the same city. Peter Vesey is reporting that Doc Rivers has a reported mutual interest in the job. He wrote, according to a confidant, he almost always wanted to leash the Lakers. In conversations over the years, Doc frequently expressed an ardent ambition to coach either them or the Knicks before retiring, if for no other motivation than their worldwide brands. I don't know that I see this happening.
I wouldn't do it.
For multiple reasons. One, why?
Yeah.
The Clippers are a good team that just cleared more space to sign a big free agent next year.
And they got a great owner.
A great owner. They're completely rebranding. Yeah. I don't understand this at all. Also, not happening because, as I said before, LeBron has 3 more years left on his Lakers contract. He has to win a championship here. I don't see the Lakers moving off of LeBron James. So who do you bring in? You have to bring in somebody that LeBron has already worked with or is extremely comfortable with, who he knows he's going to have an open conversation and dialogue with.
Well, Doc...
Probably Ty Lue.
Yeah, Doc comes with... And I love Doc. I'm a huge Doc supporter. But Doc had been in the game a long time, got his money. You're not going to push Doc around. Doc's going to come in and tell you what to do. And Doc's very pro player. Players play hard for Doc. They love Doc. But Doc barks, and Doc gets after you, and Doc has a point of view, and Doc's not going to be pushed around.
And Doc is a great coach. I'm not saying any of those things are wrong. I'm just saying there can't be any adjustment period for LeBron and the Lakers. Finally, the Spurs beat the Warriors last night. They extended their winning streak to 9 games with 10 games left in the season. San Antonio is now the 5 seed in the West. San Antonio's playoff streak will reach 22 in a couple of weeks. 22 years when the Spurs officially clinch their spots. Do the Spurs worry you at all in this postseason race?
Well, I watched this game last night, and San Antonio is going to win a playoff series. I don't think they're good enough to win a couple. But, you know, this is Steve Kerr after the game lamenting. Steve Kerr press conferences this year, Joy, they're one of 2 things. Defusing a Kevin Durant story or lamenting how his team's not focused. That's what Steve Kerr talks about. And Golden State knows, unlike March Madness, where you have a bad half, your season's over. Even in the first round, it's a 7-game series. So it's been very hard. When I watched this game last night, it was a classic. It meant more for San Antonio. They played really hard, a little better defensively, and this is the NBA. I do think San Antonio should be very happy with their product right now because they're shooting the ball well. They're playing well. They looked last night like a really nice NBA team that can win a playoff series.
Well, I think whoever matches up with them should be worried because every single year we do this, we forget that the Spurs even exist, and then all of a sudden they're in the playoffs and they make noise. I don't think that they have a championship level team, but they could mess some things up for some people. Yeah,
they show you the true depth of the West. We've forgotten about San Antonio. They've got 2 All-Stars on the team, Aldridge, DeRozan, and a Hall of Fame coach. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Live.
By the way, had dinner with an NFL executive in town last night, a big shot. I'll get to that at the top of next hour. Some interesting things about NFL free agency. Before we get to that, though, Chris Broussard, let's bring him in. Former New York Times guy, Fox Sports Radio, iHeartRadio. All right, my theory on this stuff, you're a dogged reporter. New York Times. I mean, you can't work for the New York Times unless you're a real pro. You're a pro's pro. That place doesn't just hire any old, loudmouth.
Right.
So you've broken stories before, and I've always had a theory. Stories are broken when somebody wants them broken, is that they can close doors very easily to Joy, you, and me. So the Lakers, the narrative's bad. Luke's getting fired. Clippers are fun. It's been a bad 2 weeks of press for the Lakers. Suddenly, in a 2-day stretch, Doc's interested. Makes the Laker job seem very desirable, number one. Secondly, Kobe comes out, best friends with Rob Pelinka, and says, of course you trade all the young guys. Why? Because Kobe still has juice, and it sort of looks like, the rumors, the little guy's got to get over it. It shifts narratives positively for the front office.
Kobe's juice in L.A. is rising.
Yes.
Right? I mean, he obviously was all-time great and beloved by everybody in L.A. before, but seeing LeBron fail to lead them to the playoffs, seeing all the extra stuff LeBron has brought, people are now looking at Kobe in even higher regard than they did before. So, yeah, for him to come out, and look, I think I've said it on this show, I was told that everybody was like, oh, the Pelicans were leaking everything. I was told the Lakers were leaking stuff too.
Yep.
Because they wanted people to know, oh, we're all in on this. People didn't think we went all in on Paul George. People didn't think we went all in on Kawhi.
Good point.
We are all in on Anthony Davis. We're trying to get it done.
This is a great point, is that, listen, the Lakers, this is a big media market.
Yep.
When I used to live out in Connecticut, there was no question that teams reacted to WFAN radio, the Fan. There's no question they were leaking stuff and reacting. In Los Angeles, this big market, trial balloons get pushed out, and I think your point's a very, very good point, which is they got knocked for being sloppy on Paul George, so the Lakers leaked a few stories. Hey, we are going hard after
Everybody's available.
No, I think it's a great point.
Right. And now Kobe backing it up that, everybody should have been available. Why are you ripping the Lakers for going after him? So, that's your point.
What do you make of the Doc rumor?
Well, Doc, you've been hearing his name around the league. You hear Jason Kidd, Ty Lue, and Doc Rivers. I think Mark Jackson's name should be in there too, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I like Mark.
Yeah, I think he'd do a good job with them. But Doc, I agree with you guys. I think the Clippers is just a better job. Now, we'll see, obviously, how things pan out this summer with free agents. If the Lakers get Anthony Davis, then now I really like that job if I'm Doc Rivers.
So can I just sit back and wait for free agency? If I'm Doc and say, well, I'm just going to wait and see who gets the better players.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how quickly the Lakers want to move, because that may play a role in who you get in free agency, but Anthony Davis obviously would be a trade.
So if I'm Steve Ballmer this morning and I read this, I'm like, I'm not rolling the dice on us not getting Kawhi and them getting Anthony Davis. I'm re-signing Doc to a contract this week.
Yeah, that could be well, he already has the extension that carries him for a few more years.
Okay,
Do it again. Yeah.
I don't buy this because I don't think going forward I feel better about the Clippers.
No, I think the Clippers, look, if they get Kawhi Leonard, which most people think they will, they immediately become the Toronto Raptors, which means you're a contender.
Yeah.
Because that's what they have, the same type of players around Kawhi, or right now, that the Raptors have around him. They got couple shooters, they got some dogs, some role players that play hard, that know their role, that aren't trying to usurp the star and all that. I mean, they would be really good. I don't know if they'll get two. Does KD want to play with Kawhi? A lot of people around the league are saying, I don't think they want to play together. Another name to keep open, we all have associated Kyrie with New York, and that's with good reason. But maybe the Clippers. What about Kyrie and Kawhi playing together? Like, if you're Kyrie, if you don't stay in Boston and does he want to go into that New York media market? Maybe he would look at the Clippers. Kyrie's starting his own media company too.
Yeah.
And, it helps to be in LA if you're doing something like that. So the bottom line is the Clippers is, I think, a better job right now. And the one guy, with all due respect to Doc, that the Lakers should be trying to poach from the Clippers is Jerry West. They could have had Jerry West. They wanted to show we could do it without Jerry. Magic and Pelinka want the credit. Bring in Jerry West. Try. If you can't, you can't, but try.
Yeah, the Lakers, I was told, had an opportunity to bring in Jerry West.
They did.
And they passed. It's amazing.
Other guys want to shine.
Now, let's address something. This could get very uncomfortable for both you and Joy. So last night, Oklahoma City loses at home to Miami.
Without Westbrook. He didn't play. Of course they lost.
Okay. Why didn't he play?